Hello, my name is Marcus Ramos Pearson, and I am the president and co-founder of the Anime and Manga Appreciation Club here at Queens. So what made me want to start the club was the fact that there wasn't one here. There was a club similar to this in my high school, and I had fun in that club. So I was wondering, why can I have that same fun here? And then I also saw that there was a stigma of people about people who like anime and people who like manga, because most people think it's weird or it's meant for kids. So some people felt like they couldn't openly talk about it. So I wanted to create a space that was safe for people to discuss the interests about anime, manga, or other Asian comics and animations, like in a safe environment where they won't feel judged.
I've been watching anime for a long time, since I was about third grade.
So the stigma about anime, manga, and again, other Asian comics and manga is the fact that most Americans think it's for kids or that it's weird.
I think a lot of it's just that people think either, one, that it's cartoons and that it's for kids, or they only see the more adult side of anime and think that it's perverted. So it kind of goes on those extremes. So people don't want to associate with it because it's either immature or too mature.
Other Asian comics and manga is the fact that most Americans think it's for kids or that it's weird. I guess that would stem from like the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s of cartoons, where most Americans are like, oh yeah, like it's for kids. It's like you really stop watching them when you hit age 12. But in Asian countries, comics and animations, they're meant for people of all ages, and in fact they have genres that people who are probably under 12 probably should not watch. So just because of that, like I kind of want to change that stigma, going from like the fact that only kids can watch anime to people of any age can enjoy it.
Well, I mean, I'm a rugby player, and there are stereotypes and judgments made to rugby players, such as that I have several concussions. I think I only have 3. For those that are in anime or manga who do embrace that culture and lifestyle and do feel judged or even ostracized, I think that's wrong, because it doesn't hurt anyone to dress that way or to watch anime. You should embrace who you are.
My name is Kelsey DeRuer, and I am a junior. I am the treasurer of the Anime and Manga Appreciation Club at Queens. I myself am a member of the alternative fashion community, and it takes a lot of courage to just go out there dressed like something else. But the best part about it is that it gets people drawn to you. They ask you questions, they want to learn more about it, and some people will be mean about it, but some people are just genuinely curious. They want to know more about it because you're inspiring them, and that's what matters. Especially when it comes to LGBT communities, a lot of people have been quiet all their life, but then they're inspired by how other people can just go out there. So when you're wondering if you're brave enough to go do something, just remember that someone else might be looking up to you as an example.
I personally handle the stigma, I guess, by knowing like what's more popular anime to talk about and what's like less popular. So if I'm talking to someone who's like non-anime or manga culture, I tend to like make references to more pop culture anime like Sword Art Online, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, just so like they feel more comfortable with it. And then if I know that they are more familiar with it besides just the more pop things, that's when I delve into like, I guess, non-mainstream anime and manga. Typically like mecha that's not Gundam, just so that people who haven't heard of that. And probably like more of the classic animes like Cowboy Bebop and even Big O.
I think I handle it by, at this point I've kind of stopped caring. Like I have friends that like it, so I'm fine with that. But I try to explain to people that anime isn't just for kids or that kind of perverted stuff, and I talk about the stuff that I like.
But like, if my friends want to watch it, that's absolutely fine. But it's not something for me. I've tried, but it's not for me. My friends, if they watch it, and that's absolutely fine if they want to watch it. And if someone gives them a hard time about it, I'll stand up for them.
For me, I overcome stereotypes by showing anime to my friends who kind of don't think that it's cool, and then they see it and they're like, man, this is cool. Or I like to do things that I'm comfortable doing, and then I tell people that, hey, you know, I also like anime. And then they're shocked, but I don't think that people who like anime are all the same. You know, being different, expressing yourself is a good way to overcome stereotypes.
So when people may think like I'm weird for liking anime, I'm like, no, I'm not weird. It's just a different interest in them, and I just try to like explain like why I'm interested in anime and manga. And typically, I go the route it's the same thing as movies and like live action TV shows. It's just animated, and people say, oh, like animation doesn't take much work, but then I go into the fact where if you actually see the pre and post production of anime and even manga, it takes probably as much or even more work than live action. So I've tried to get people who are outside the anime and manga culture to learn more about it by hosting events such as anime movie nights that are free to the public. There's free food, so people be more inclined to come. And then because of the fact that they're movies, people don't have to feel that they have to go out on their own and actually finish like a series or anime series. And another way is the fact we have dances so that people can actually listen to the music that are behind anime, because typically music in anime is typically like really big and is like can set a lot of emotional moods. So just to get people to listen besides just like visually watching it.
I do think that it's fine to like be who you are and express your love. You love anime a lot, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming for people who don't know what anime is, or that it's more than like Sailor Moon and Naruto and stuff like that. So I think people need to learn to kind of balance it when they try to talk about anime or introduce other people to it. But I think to introduce people to it, just start with something that's kind of familiar or not too over the top, that might be more similar to American cartoons or American TV shows, and then you can go from there. I've actually never really done that. Sometimes you can just tell when someone likes anime. Usually they have other interests like comics and video games, and then maybe you bring up an anime that you've been watching, and they'll either say, oh, I've heard of that, I'm watching it too, or what is that? And sometimes they'll say that they like anime, and sometimes they'll be like, no, I just don't watch that.
Do I personally feel comfortable expressing my fondness, I guess, of anime and manga? Yes, as you can see by this sweatshirt that I have. Just to point out, this sweatshirt is the Wings of Freedom, which is the crest from the Survey Corps of the anime/manga Attack on Titan.
I would say to go ahead and just like wear whatever anime merch you have, or because there's always going to be someone out there that likes it. And then the internet has been really helpful because you can easily find other people that like it, and even find online groups. And there's lots of meetups, even just North Carolina, that can help you go from there.
Well, like if you wear a T-shirt or something, like say a popular anime, I guess would be Naruto or One Piece or something like that. If you wore a Naruto T-shirt or whatever, wearing a T-shirt is fine. I wear rugby T-shirts all the time. It's fine. So T-shirts, maybe. I mean, some people also, I guess, will have stuff on their socks, like symbols or whatever. Or jewelry could be cool too. I mean, if you have like a bracelet or a necklace with a thing on it, that'd be cool too. I mean, but it's nothing like crazy or excessive for the most part, I guess. I do believe that if it's something that doesn't harm anyone else, you should, be happy about who you are, and if that makes you comfortable, you should do it. But at the same time, I guess there's also a time and place for everywhere.
Yeah, so like, is there a specific time and place to wear cosplay or other things like that? I would say feel free to wear it any day of the week. I personally like accept that. Now, there's certain scales of cosplay. I feel like that's more acceptable at certain times than others. Like, let's say like more average everyday cosplay would be like school clothing or just like normal casual clothing that you see anime or manga characters wear. That you can wear that stuff every day. But like stuff that needs like full scale, like almost like armor or like specific clothing that you only see in like certain types of anime, that is I would feel should be better worn at conventions or anime and manga conventions. Simply because that is where you are surrounded by people who are definitely interested in the same things as you, and they won't judge you besides the fact that your cosplay looks really freaking cool.
I think that there's not really a limit to expressing yourself of how much you love something, and I think that's what really gives you the confidence. If you know that you love it and it makes you happy, then what's wrong with expressing that? There's no reason to feel like you should need to change yourself. Expressing things makes you feel happy, and that's what should really matter, not about what other people think of you. And you're actually going to find a lot of people who like that and who are drawn to you because you're so expressive about what you love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to add to that, I think it's also important that, you know, if you should make it known why you like anime. Talk to people. And if anyone asks questions, just answer the questions. I mean, assume good intentions when people ask questions. That's how it gets understood. And when you understand something, then it's less likely you'll, I guess, discriminate against a culture or something like that. So yeah, just be open to questions and answer them honestly, and hopefully, you know, people won't judge you for watching anime. I mean, I there's always going to be biases. It's just a fact of life. I have my biases on it, and there's still people who I love and care for who watch anime and manga. It's not a big deal to me. It might be a bigger deal to someone else. Just embrace who you are, answer questions honestly, and have fun. Like, just have a good time, you know?
All right. And with that,
So the advice that I have for people who are trying to get over the stigma that they place on people who like anime and manga is to just accept the fact that it's not weird for someone to actually watch animations or read comics, even though they are like over 14. And another way is to think about from your perspective. How would you feel if people made fun of you for liking some show or genre of show that seems different from the mainstream?